guys, back with another video, and today your boy got a juicy story time. Now, after all this time, it's been a minute since I did a smash and dash. So by the title, you can already guess what this story time gonna be about. Yes, another smash and dash. Your boy finally executed another one. But before we jump into the story, peep the new style, man. Look at that, look at that. Your boy got the white mixed in with the little black. You know, got me feeling like Ant-Man up in this bitch. You know, with the little, you know, right here. Got me feeling like, you know, Ant-Man Hobbs. And also peep this too. Look at that. Got them lightning bolts right here. Ooh, look at that fat boy right there. Oh, feel good when I touch it. That's what she said. Woo, 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 woo. But no. But real talk, it's been a minute since I did a smash and dash story time. You know, I smashed, ran off with the cash, running through the grass, feeling like the Flash while I dash. But the good thing about it is, your boy got some ass. Woo! And I also got to keep my cash. Double win-win. Now this time, I took a different approach. Me and Shorty, we've been, you know, talking, chatting it up, getting to know each other. And before y'all ask, no, it's not another white girl. Well, technically, she's white and Latina. Your boy got some of that pepper. I felt that taco up. Nah, I'm just playing. Anywho, we was chatting it up. Now, from the beginning, she told me she should do a little bit of content or whatever. But luckily, it was just, you know, naked pics. I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, you know, naked pics. It ain't too bad. It ain't, you know, too bad. So we were just talking it up, and then she was all like, you know, the one night, things got freaky. Because we, you know, we talking it up and shit and all this and that. And then we video call a messenger. And then she in some, telling me like she in a sports bra and them short shorts. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, ooh, what's going on here? Then she kind of angled the camera showing like her chest and her in some shorts. I'm just sitting there, I'm kind of on the game. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then she's like, what you think of my shorts? I'm like, oh, they're a nice color. And she's like, oh. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, look like you don't got no underwear on. And she was like, no, I don't wear panties. I was like, huh? She was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, sometimes I don't wear no panties or whatever. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, maybe it's for easy access. Somebody at work said, you know, when them girls wear when girls wear them short shorts, they can sit on that lap, slide them shorts to the side, and then, you know, you just go to work. Hey, this is what this one lady at work said. Alright, back to the story. So, we was on the phone, and then she asked me, she's like, you got anything planned for tonight? I was like, nah, I'm just on the game with my boys or whatever. And she was all like, I guess she was going to get something to eat. Now I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh yeah, I could eat or whatever. And she was like, alright, bet, I'll come scoop you. I was like, oh, damn. I was like, okay. And then luckily I had some pre-rolls. So I was all like, you know, we can, you know, smoke this pre-roll I got. And also, your boy got this. Let me put y'all it right quick. Instead of getting them lighters, get you this right here. It's a rechargeable lighter. Click this, press that, bam. A little light right here. And then when it dies, recharge it, bam. I just put y'all hit real quick. So anywho, I was like, all right, bet. So I threw on, you know, a nice little fit, and also, you know, I threw on a nice little outfit just in case I, you know. And as you know from the title, I got them cheeks. So we link up. She pull up, and I'll get into the car, and then we went to East Lansing, and we went to this food spot. I think it was Panda Express. And then we chilling, and then, you know, I get a little hot. I get, you know, a little rocky down there. And she was all like, you good? I was like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good. She was like, oh, you got rocky. And then she was all like, oh, I know he was on that type of time. And I looked at her, I'm like, shoot, I don't know. But for real though, I was just coming to get some to eat. She was the one. Whereas now, she went from wearing the sports bra, shorts to freaking Now, mind you, it wasn't really too cold out. It wasn't like too cold. So she had on like a big oversized hoodie, and she had like some shorts underneath. And then I just had on joggers and a long sleeve shirt. Now we chilling, and then I get rocky or whatever. And then I sat there, I told her, I'm like, well, shoot, you know, we could, you know, do a little, And she was like, all right, bet. And I had some protection with me. Now listen. I didn't do it on purpose. Now I brought it just in case for this reason. Because even when I'm on the game, my boy was like, damn, you finna go get some food? I was like, yeah, man. And they was like, Jerry, bro. They're like, Jerry, bro, bring some protection just in case, man. I looked at them. I'm like, nah, man. We just get some to eat. They're like, bro, trust me. Just bring some just in case. I'm like, all right, cool. So I brought two, you know what? Yeah, two. And then we chilling and whatever. We just taking a nice little walk and whatever. And then we stopped at this park. Now it was super dark, so we didn't get seen. And tell me why, before we get into it, she talking about something I gotta pay. I'm looking at this chick, I'm like, huh? And she's like, yeah. And then she talking about some her car note or whatever, long overdue. And this girl says if I want to get her taco, I gotta pay $500. 500 for that coochie. Hey, I'm thinking she joking. But she for real. She's like, nah, if you want it, you gotta pay. I'm like, all right, cool. And it clicked. Now, listen. I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, ain't no way this man, funny man, coughed up that 500. Listen. Remember the title of this video. And the last one. If y'all didn't see that last one, watch it and come back here. It's gonna be somewhere throughout the video up here or in the playlist. Anyway, so I gave her the 500. Listen. I know y'all raging. I know y'all punching. Y'all like, ooh, I'm gonna pull up on Junior. I'm gonna box his ass. Listen. I gave her the 500. And then she was, you know, counting that mug. She was like, let me make sure it's real. So she was flipping through it. Picture like that, shining into the light. I'm sitting here, I'm like, is this B-word a freaking detective? Like, what is she doing? So she was all like, oh yeah, it's real. She's like, I thought you was gonna get something all over me. And then she said the last black dude she messed with got one over on her. Oh. So she took the 500, put it in her hoodie pocket, and then that's when shit get juicy. Now, if there's any kids, y'all better leave because the shit is dirty, freaky, nasty. So, you know, we, getting undresses ourselves, getting to it. Now, me, I just dropped my drawers. I ain't do nothing. I just whoosh. Now, with her, she had on them shorts, and she had on an oversized hoodie. So, all I had to do was slip under the hoodie, slide it to the side, and get right to it. Now, the oversized hoodie, I mean, it was kind of hard for me to grab, her, what. So I had to get up under her hoodie and, squeeze it. So, we get into it, so I was getting it from, I had hit her from the back, from the front. She was on top, we did a variety of things. Now, just like the last Smash and Dash, this is how I got the money. Now, I didn't do the same method when I was, getting it from the back and grabbing and slip the money in my pocket. No. I didn't do that. The money was in her hoodie. So as I had her bent over or whatever, she was leaned over. Her hand was on the railing like that. And I was kind of, pulling on her hair. And I was, just kind of double slapping them cheeks, And then that's when I was grabbing them up on her. And that's when I made my way to in her pocket. Because I slipped in her pocket with these babies right here. I grabbed the money. And then I quietly, slipped in my pocket. And then I just kept on going or whatever. She didn't mind it. She was yelling. She was like, oh! And then I sat there. I slapped her ass. I was like, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, you my stallion, mommy. And she's like, hell yeah, Poppy, I'm your stallion. I'm like, oh, Poppy. So, long story short, we finish up. And we getting on our clothes or whatever. And then she checks her pocket. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm getting deja vu. I'm getting deja vu. And she checks her pocket. And she's like, where the money at? Or whatever. And she looked at me, man. It looked like she was ass, bro. She stared me up and down. She like, where my money at? She like, don't play with me. Where my money at? I looked at her. I was like, calm down. Maybe it fell or something while he was going at. We was going rough or whatever and all this and that. And she's like, okay. She's like, you right, Poppy, and all this and that. I'm like, yeah. So I'm having her look for it. And look, this is what I should have did the first time. But this is what I did. I also brought some prop money with me. So what I did was, I dropped the prop money on the playground. And luckily, it was dark, so she couldn't really tell. So I poured out the money. She picked it up, put it in her hoodie. I'm sitting there, yes, I'm gonna live. I'm gonna make it. I'm about to live. So then we making our way, I gave her a hug. And I know what y'all wondering. She, drove me out there. So how did I get back? See, look, one step ahead. Luckily, we was in East Lansing, and my other homeboy, he happened to be out there, getting some Samia cookie and, chilling with some white ladies. So I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm going with this shorty, I'm going to do a little, honka. Then he was all like, all right, bet, man, let me know if you need it right or whatever. I was like, all right. So he was already on his way to, the location. And we walking away, and she was like, oh, if you want, I can, she was like, if you want, I could drop you back off or whatever. And I was like, no, that's cool, or whatever. And then, so, as I'm going away, she get to the car. I guess that's when she checked the money. I guess that's when she noticed it was fake. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh, crap. And then she came back out. She was yelling at me. She was like, you better give me my money. You ain't finna rob me, boy. You ain't finna rob me, you stupid pendejo. I'm like, huh? She's like, you stupid pendejo. You puta ass nigga. You better give me my money. You ain't finna rob me. I need my car no pay right now. I looked at her. I'm like, girl, you cray. I'm like, you loco. I ain't giving you this money. And she started chasing me around the park. I'm like, oh, crap. So I'm running around the park. I'm like, woo. Just like before, I was running in the grass. Shoot, I was running through the wood chips. Running through the wood chips. Finna do a dip. About to fuck around. Hit a backflip. More bars. Anyway, we running around. And then she's like, I'm finna whoop your ass, nigga. I'm like, you ain't nothing. And then she flipped up her slides, and she threw them boys at me. They both hit me in my head. One hit me right here. One hit me in the back. It was like boom. I was like, and I still kept on going. I kept running, man. Then another one hit me in the back of the head. It was like boom. I was like, oh shit. And I just kept on running. Luckily, my homeboy came in clutch, because my homeboy drove by. He's like, Jerry, bro, get in the car. I was like, say less. So I'm running, and then luckily, the car door, that man slipped that car door open. I dove in that car. I'm like, and now I land on my back, and that man sped off, and I closed the door real quick, and she yelling. She's like, you broke ass nigga over here robbing me out of my money. I'ma get you. So we sped off. My homeboy came in clutch. He's like, Jerry, bro, what the heck happened? My heart was racing. I was sweating. Just like before, I was sweating, heart racing, man. I was like, oh, bro. I was like, bro, thank you, bro. You came in clutch. He's like, yeah. He was like, yeah, man. You look, I was in East Lansing, man. Because if I wasn't, he was like, you would have been cooked. I was like, shoot, I would have been cooked. But luckily, once again, my boy came in clutch. And I don't know what y'all finna say. If she picked me up, why don't she just come to my house? See? Like I said, I thought ahead. Now, when she picked me up, I gave her a false address. So that's what I did. I gave her a false address. I stood outside said address and, well, actually, hold up. Hang on, cause I was a little bit. Damn, man, that weed. Actually, no, wait. I remember now. She offered to pick me up, but then I said no. We could just meet there. So we met there. My homeboy dropped me off, or whatever, and in the East Lansing, and me and her met up, and we just took a walk, ate, and that's when we went to the park. And now she drove me to the park. So technically, she don't know where I live. She don't know where I live. So my ass is safe. Oh! But yeah, y'all. This is the story time, and peace.